next on the Jeff Crilley Show, you'll meet two of the driving forces behind a local nonprofit that's helping veterans. This particular program is called Hooves for Heroes. Their journey just ahead.
Many are predicting that the worst is yet to come, which is unfortunate, said one person here. Until now, they've enjoyed the reputation of being the nation's icebox.
Watched a burglar in his home this morning by webcam.
As a journalist of over 25 years, stories are what make my world turn.
Reporting live from the Dallas newsroom tonight, Jeff Crilley, Fox 4 News.
But in 2008, I took the jump from my familiar life and started a PR firm from my home.
We're talking about anyone with a camcorder like the one I'm using becomes a television network.
We started slowly growing the company, and we now have over 100 clients, and we've branched into the world of live digital broadcasting. I now own 8 different TV studios and have a huge team, and the stories that I now get to share are sometimes the most important of my life. Life has a funny way of coming around full circle. This is the Jeff Crilley Show.
Well, when you think about our military, we go through boot camp. We put people through a lot of days and days of work to get them ready, steeled for war. But then when it's time to leave the military, I think it's something like half a day of reacclimation training. And it leaves a lot of veterans frustrated and not able to integrate back into society. That's why I love putting a loving spotlight on some amazing nonprofits. And the folks in studio today are with Hooves for Heroes, Ruth Shim and Alpert. Thanks for coming on the show.
Thanks so much.
Thanks for having us.
All right, why don't we start with you, Ruth. What is Hooves for Heroes?
Yeah, so Hooves for Heroes is a nonprofit organization just south of Dallas, Texas. We serve veterans and their families. We are a nonprofit, like I said, and we work with horses. So a little bit different than your regular types of any type of other therapy. We harness the power of the horse for healing for our veterans and their family members.
And staying with you, Ruth, for a minute, what is it about the horse? It's such a noble creature, but what is the soothing impact that a horse has on a veteran?
Yeah, for sure. So horses are extremely sensitive. They've also been with us for any type of inhumanity and in the process of building and growing. They've been by our side in every single big thing that humans have done. And so, again, they are still with us. And so they are extremely sensitive animals, and they are very unique in the way of getting to partner with us. Their electromagnetic field is about 5 times the size of ours. So where we put out maybe that 10 or so foot electromagnetic field, they put out 50-foot electromagnetic field. So even just being in their presence, just like other therapy animals, they lower our heart rates, they lower our blood pressure just by getting to breathe and be around them.
That's amazing. Chris, let's bring you in. How did you first get introduced to the program?
I got introduced to the program through a fellow veteran. Like a lot of veteran programs, it's word of mouth. We talk to each other. We have our own little network that we communicate with each other. And this buddy I flew with down in Kingsville, Texas, and he said, you got to go try this out. This is a really cool program. It's really great for transitioning vets. And it's probably about 2 years of him telling me that, I finally went out and did it. And I've been riding with them and being a part of them for about 2 years now. And it's been an awesome experience.
And you served with our Marine Corps for 22 years. Thank you for your service.
My pleasure.
What did you? Were you a horse person before? What did you notice when you started?
I was not. I had really never ridden before, other than maybe when I was 7 years old on a trail ride in North Carolina. But I had never been around horses, never took care of them, never did any of the groundwork or any of the prep work, saddling, or any riding. So it's been a great experience learning how to do that.
And describe what it does for you.
You know, it really is exactly what Ruth said here. It calms me. Going out there and being able to be around these big animals and knowing that I can work with them and have them do what I want them to do, and they have me do what they want. And it really is it's teamwork and getting them and me to do the right thing at the right time has been really something that's amazing to learn with these animals.
You guys have been all over the media. I saw a wonderful piece done by CBS 11 here in town a couple of years ago. Let's go ahead and roll that.
Military heroes who return home, making the transition to civilian life can be tough. However, there's a North Texas group that found a unique way to help our veterans. We introduce you to Hooves for Heroes in this week's Ones for Texas.
Well, horses are an amazing teacher for veterans.
Since 2012, Hooves for Heroes has been helping military veterans transition back to civilian life.
And veterans, especially veterans that have been in combat, come back and are oftentimes on high alert also. And so learning how to manage that and be at peace is a perfect opportunity with the horses.
It's fun to be on a horse and to even deal with them is fun, period.
Coco Powell served 8 years in the U.S. Navy and saw time in the combat zone. She came home dealing with PTSD, depression, and anxiety when a fellow veteran told her about the program.
It pushes down my anxiety of trying to figure out what to say, what not to say. Don't be too overbearing, don't be too little. When you talk with people, you have to deal with those type of things.
Even though Powell has been around horses most of her life, she admits she was skeptical at first.
I just thought of it as pleasure riding or Western riding, and let's go to a trail ride and have a good time, and not in a sense of healing your heart and your soul and also your body.
But now with a mix of counseling and equine therapy,
it is helping me like on a whole nother level and opening me up to deal with more personal and people interaction.
The program's manager says allowing veterans to work with horses improves self-awareness and self-confidence during the transition away from military service.
They've lost their sense of purpose and the feel of community. They come here and find first that trust with a horse. That trust can translate to a volunteer or a fellow participant, an instructor, and translates back into their family, into their community.
Great to see her already doing better. Hooves for Heroes is a free program that's offered through Equest, which is based in Southeast Dallas. You can learn more by going to cbsdfw.com. Just click on the Ones for Texas icon.
What impresses me most, Ruth, is how docile they are. How do you go about finding your horses and training your horses?
For sure. So our herd is very, very special. We say it takes 1 in 100 horses to get to be a therapy animal, to do what they do. So it is a lot of searching. The instructors and our director, they travel all over the U.S. To try out horses, to see horses. They are constantly scrolling all the different sites to look for whatever it is that we're looking for, because we also do so many different types of program. Like you saw on that news clip, we have a driving program, and that takes a lot of training, also a lot of different types of equipment, all the different things. So whether the horses be donated, that's always a wonderful way for them to get to be a part of the herd. A lot of times we try to have a time of where we can try them out maybe for a little bit, see if they can acclimate, because we work with people with disabilities, so they need to be able to be okay with a wheelchair, be okay with canes, be okay with rollers, be okay with being in a ramp, all of these different things, be okay with having sidewalkers on both sides, be okay with a leader. So it takes a lot of training, a lot of hours goes into those babies.
We're going to scroll down the web page for Hooves for Heroes, and it goes into a lot of different things. You also collaborate with other nonprofits, don't you?
Yes, we sure do. So one of my favorites is the Warrior Spirit Project. So they're a nonprofit that comes out and we do yoga with horses,
Wow.
As well as I Rest meditation. So Charla and David Truesdale have been just amazing to get to partner with them. We get to be a part of, in May, we partner with the great organization Carry the Load, and so we're very excited to always get to be a part of that. So yeah, a lot of different opportunities.
And I know there are like therapy dog programs out there, but a horse is a lot different than caring for a dog, isn't it?
Oh, the care is extremely different, yeah, for sure. So our herd is about 35 equine, so I have to say equine because we do have our therapy donkey as well. Can't leave him out. He's our miniature donkey Taco, and he is beloved by everybody. So definitely have to include him.
All right. So, Chris, do you have a designated horse that you work with, or is it a different horse every time?
No, I have the same horse every time I go out there, and we ride by semester.
Yeah.
So, fall and spring semester, and sometimes between semesters I'll change horses if they feel like I'm ready to try something new or do something different.
What was the learning curve for you, and what's your horse's name?
It's Brutus right now, and the learning curve was it was like a hockey stick. Started out just figuring out which was the front end, kind of. But really learning how to groom and shod and saddle horses isn't just blatantly apparent when you walk up to them.
Right.
So learning how to do that took some time, and then once you got that, it was amazing. I mean, getting on these big animals and realizing that you have the capability of controlling it and working with it really gives you a sense of accomplishment and confidence. And that's what I see with all the other riders out there that I'm with, is everybody who has gotten on them gets off with more confidence.
And I imagine it gets you out of your own head, right? I mean, when you're out there riding, you and the horse are one.
Right, and we're trying to accomplish something. So it's not just get on it and walk around. We have our trainers that are showing us how to ride properly and with style and with confidence. So you're working towards something.
Yes. And I know you're a nonprofit, so you always need donors to come alongside. So, Ruth, we're almost out of time. We're going to give you the final word. Look into your camera and talk to the person who really should be donating.
Yeah. I think there's a lot of us out there that maybe don't get a chance to be hands-on, right? So we see these amazing organizations out there, especially Equest, the Hooves for Heroes program, that does so much for our veterans. Our veterans have given their lives in service to us for our freedom. And so it is only right and proper that we now give back to them. And giving to the Hooves for Heroes program can be a part of that, whether it be for the veteran themselves, their family members, their children, whether it be $1, whether it be $10,000, whatever it is. And then as a donor, you yourself get to be a part of the magic that happens at Equest by giving money, right? So if you can't show up, if you can't shovel out a stall or feed or give water or whatever it is, you get to be a part of it even still.
Wow. Great way to end this program. We're also going to leave you with the website, which is equest.org. Chris and Ruth, thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for having us.
You bet. That's it for now. We'll see you next time.